What's up, guys? I appreciate you all tuning in again. And I want to talk about something a little bit different today. I want to talk about self improvement, obviously, because that's what this whole series is about. But I want to talk about self improvement and self improvement for you, not for somebody else. Now, this was recommended to me by a viewer. So whoever commented that, thank you. I'll post that comment up here if I ever learn how to fucking edit. But yeah, I want to talk about how you can be better, but the importance of being better for you and not for somebody else. I just realized my camera has 3 minutes of film left, so give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm too lazy to buy another SD card, so I just film a video and then I delete the video after I post it, and then I free up space, and I don't have to buy another SD card, which is fucking sick because those things are expensive. But the importance of self-improvement for you is something that's not really touched on, because a lot of people try to improve and they think they're improving for themselves. But in reality, they're doing it for external validation and they're doing it for other people. So I want you to think about this. What are the main reasons why people try to get their life together and try to just improve, right? The main reasons: a breakup, some type of traumatic event, maybe a family death, maybe just you're fed up with your image or something like that, right? But a lot of those things I just mentioned, you're doing it because of something externally. Like a breakup, most guys don't handle a breakup correctly, and they try to improve to get that person back, or to be like, hey, you lost out. And that defeats the entire purpose of self-improvement itself. Self-improvement itself, it's in the name, self-improvement. You're improving for you and not for somebody else. So in order to do that, you have to improve without thinking about the vanity aspect of things. And what I mean by that is you should want to look better. You should want to improve your image, but you shouldn't want to improve your image for somebody else. The second you do that, it's not self-improvement, it's I'm improving for somebody else. Somebody else's self, not my own self. So it defeats the entire purpose. So whenever you embark on your own self-improvement journey, whenever you're starting to try to be better, even if you are somebody who's already trying to be a better person, trying to work harder on yourself, the first thing I want you to do is take a step back and really look at yourself in the mirror and say, why do I want to be better? What is that reason? Because everyone has an underlying reason, whether you realize it or not. For me, when I first wanted to get better, it was solely self-improvement. I hated the way I looked. I was skinny fat. I had no muscle on me. I had chub. I would weigh myself and I would lie about my weight to my friends because I didn't want them to know that I was overweight and I wasn't skinny like them. I didn't have a six-pack like them. So the first thing you need to understand is, why are you doing it? Because I was doing it for me, but then as I got on my journey, I was doing it for other people. I was doing it due to breakups. I was doing it to prove to people. Even when I started my business, I was almost doing it with a chip on my shoulder to prove to somebody. So you need to first understand that whenever you're improving for somebody else, it doesn't matter at all. You're not really gaining anything from that. All you're doing is seeking more validation, which is going to tumble you down the rabbit hole of feeling more insecure, more depressed, because you're constantly relying on somebody else. And I've touched on this in other videos, but the second you rely on somebody else to provide you happiness, to provide you fulfillment, whenever that person is gone, you won't have that fulfillment, and you'll be even worse than when you started. So for example, if you try to improve and you start going to the gym, right? You go to the gym so that this girl will tell you look attractive, and you pull that girl, you start dating her, and then she breaks up with you, right? You improved for her. You went on that improvement journey. The only validation you got was from her telling you looked good, and then when she's not there to tell you look good, you get in your own head. And then you didn't improve. You might have improved physically, but you improved for her, and therefore you did not improve mentally. So when it comes to self-improvement, the mental aspect is far more important than the physical. If you can dial in your mental, then your physical doesn't matter as much. You can have the best body in the world, the best physique in the world, but if your head's not screwed on straight, it doesn't fucking matter. So the first thing I need you to understand is that the mental aspect is far more important than the physical. Now, how do we get our mental screwed on straight, right? Because obviously that's the most important thing. What I need you to do is, one, like I said, take a step back and see who you're improving for. And if you realize you're improving for somebody else, you need to stop. You can't ask for validation from them. You shouldn't do it for validation. If you feel like you're in that cycle of constantly needing improvement from other people, stop posting your physique. Stop posting progress photos on Instagram. I know that's counterintuitive, and I know that sounds stupid because I'm a fucking fitness influencer and I post my physique on Instagram every day. But I don't do it for validation. I do it to inspire others and run a business. That's the difference. I don't need validation. All my validation comes from within at this point in my life. So if you're not at that point where all of your validation comes from you and from nobody else, then stop posting yourself. And I know that sounds like douchebaggy for me to say, like, oh, stop posting yourself, like you're trying to show off. But genuinely, if you feel like you need validation from other people, take a step back and stop posting yourself and just work in silence for a little bit. And then you'll understand, because you're not relying on somebody else to give you that validation. Nobody else is even seeing your physique. So you're not getting that validation from anyone. All you're doing is looking in the mirror and realizing, like, wow, I have made this progress. This feels awesome. And I don't need somebody to tell me that. So you don't need somebody to tell you that if you're making the progress for you. Now, the next thing I would do in terms of like fixing your mental, like improving for you mentally and not just physically, because we talked about the physical, obviously. Get in shape, duh, and do it for you, not for somebody else, duh. But with the mental, it's a bit more complicated, because it's very hard to level up mentally, and to do so in one, a timely fashion, and two, to do so without outside influence. So what I need you to understand is that there's kind of two paths you can take in terms of mental development, right? One is you can stay the same and accept that the way you feel now, whether it's happy, sad, depressed, lonely, whatever it may be, accept that the way you feel now is the way you're going to feel for the rest of your life. Because when you exhibit a certain emotion, that emotion only multiplies. Think about times you've been upset, right? You think about why you're upset more, and then you just get more upset. Think about times you had something amazing happen. You got really good grades. That girl asked you out and you said yes, right? You were probably on the moon, and you probably felt even better and better and better. Those emotions compound. So whatever emotional state you're in right now, it's going to compound. If you're telling yourself you're stressed out and all you think about is how you're stressed, you're only going to get more stressed. So to get into that position where you have the mental that you need, where you have the mental that you desire, you have to already be in that mental. And I know that sounds complicated, but in order to become your new self, in order to be the version of you want to be, you have to leave your old self behind. And the way to do that is to, one, stop doing the things that associate you with who you are now. If you're somebody who's tired of being lazy and you're depressed, that lazy, depressed version of you probably scrolls on your phone all day and probably has no real purpose. So if you keep scrolling on your phone, scrolling all day, and you keep just sitting on your phone doing fucking nothing, you're not going to the gym, you're still doing the old tasks that are associated with you mentally. And that's an extreme case, but still, even if it's like, oh, like, I'm depressed because all I do is go out, and then you continue to go out. Okay, you're not solving the problem. You're still always going to be that version of yourself because you're doing the things that correlate with that version of you. If that version of you goes to the bar all the time and that version of you scrolls on your phone all the time, and you continue to do that, then you will forever be that version of you. So I want you to think about this. What would the version of you that you want to be, the version of you in your desired reality, what would that person do? What would their day-to-day look like? What would they do? And every time you come across a hard decision, I want you to think about that. What would I do if I was the person I wanted to be? Because I know damn well, if you're somebody who wants to be successful, you're somebody who wants to be in shape, you wouldn't skip your gym to go hit the bong. You wouldn't stop giving up on you wouldn't give up on your dreams just to scroll on TikTok. You wouldn't put off going to the gym just to watch a movie. You would do the things you needed to do. Why? Because you're the person that you desire to be. So if you want to become that person and you want to improve yourself mentally and do it for you, then you have to stop doing the tasks that correlate you with your old self. Your old self is not you anymore. After watching this video, I want you to understand that you are not that person anymore if you apply yourself. Because you can completely do a 180 with your life if you apply yourself to what I'm saying right now. Do the things that you associate with the person you want to be. Whether that's going to the gym every day, whether that's waking up at 7 a.m. every day. You are building that discipline in order to be the person you want to become. And another way I want to put this, another way I want to think of this, is you have to trust yourself, okay? If your mind if you tell your mind that you're going to go to the gym and then you don't, your mind loses trust with you. The same way if you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and then you wake up at 10 a.m. hungover, your mind loses trust in you. And you lose trust in yourself because you know you're not capable of sticking to the things that you know you're going to stick to. And that's why you stay the same person forever and ever and ever and ever. So if you don't want to be that person anymore, don't do the things that associate you with being that person. Your mind keeps score. Your mind knows every single time that you don't do the things you say you're going to do, because you could lie to anyone else about what you're doing, but you can't lie to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. You always know whether you did the things you said you were going to do or not. So if you don't do those things, all you're going to do is have less belief in yourself, and that lack of self-belief means you're never going to progress out of the state you're in now. So if you want to progress, do the things that you know you need to do, and do them for you. Do them for yourself, right? We talked about going to the gym for yourself, and talked about not doing it for vanity purposes, doing it solely to boost your own self-confidence and be a better person for yourself. Sorry, my contacts are dry as shit. Ugh. But go to the gym for yourself, right? Improve mentally for yourself. And in order to improve mentally, you need to kill the person you are today. After this video, you're no longer that person. The person you are today is gone, okay? If you want to become that new person, you want to become that person who is in good shape, who is successful, who is happy, who is fulfilled, who has a joyous life, who has good relations, is loved, is cared for, you must already be that person. Even though those things aren't given to you externally yet, the second you accept them internally, and the second that you perceive that they already are inside of you, and you have the abilities to do that, that's whenever you'll become that person, because you already feel like that, so you'll be rewarded with those things. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm in shape, I love my body, I'm in shape, I'm attractive, and then take all the actionable steps to do that whilst believing that you're already in that state, you're going to get to that state a whole lot faster, as if somebody who doesn't do the things that they say they're going to do, and then their mind loses trust with them. Building trust with your own mind is the number one step to getting where you need to go. So, I know this is a shorter video. I know that this hasn't been as long as all of my other videos, but I just wanted to go over this because it's very, very important. In order to improve for yourself, the mental aspect matters more than the physical. Improvement is great, self-improvement is great, but it's not self-improvement unless it's for you. So if you made it to the end of this and you're still watching, my word of advice for you is that your old self dies today. The person you want to be is the person you shall be for the rest of your life, as long as you apply what I just told you.